welcome back to our study of the book of Revelation. Today, this is session 8 of the book of Revelation in our study, and in particular looking at chapters 12 and 13. We have no doubt encountered any number of rather frightful and fearsome images and visions so far in this book, and these two chapters are no different. So in these chapters we encounter a vision of a woman who's being chased by a terrible dragon, and she's pregnant and is giving birth. And then we have two different beasts, and after that we're given a description of the mark of the beast. Like really fantastical and at times terrifying visions. So from these two chapters, I would like to focus on a couple of things in particular. Really three different terms to begin with that I would like to clarify. The beasts, one from the land and one from the sea. Who are these beasts? Secondly, we have the term Antichrist, and that is a term which gets talked about repeatedly in reference to the book of Revelation, but which never actually appears in this book. And then thirdly, the term the man of lawlessness, which again does not appear in Revelation, but which we do find in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. So, the beasts. In chapter 13, John sees a first beast. This first beast rises from the sea, and this first beast is terrifying, and it seems to be almost a counterfeit lamb, if you will. This first beast has a mortal wound, but the wound has been healed. Think about that in contrast to chapter 5. In chapter 5, John sees the lamb standing as though slain. So the lamb that John sees in chapter 5, the wound is still present. Here in chapter 13, the first beast, the wound has been healed. This first beast can perform signs and wonders. It appears like a lamb, but is not a lamb. It's a counterfeit lamb. This first beast claims great power. We're told that the number of this first beast is 666. Now, how should we read this number 666? First thing is think of it as 666 rather than triple sixes. I mean, if you look at it the right way, 666 would work because you've got an incomplete number, so supposedly an evil number, repeated 3 times for emphasis. But how do we read and interpret that 666? First, we think of it in terms of gematria. In the ancient world, Hebrew and Greek, neither one of those languages actually had numerals. We have our English alphabet, but we also have Arabic numerals. With both Hebrew and Greek, those languages, there aren't numerals, so each letter had a numerical value. And so gematria worked by, you got numbers by assigning a numerical value to each of the letters. So the number of the beast is 666. And so the way gematria worked is, what letters added together, the value of what letters added together can equal 666. Now, of course, this is complicated because there is a textual variant. Some ancient manuscripts report the number of the beast as being 616. As if 666 isn't confusing enough, it may have been 616. So we've got the first beast, and we're given the number of the beast, which is 666 or 616. And then there is a second beast, a beast in the land. And this second beast causes people to worship the first beast. The second beast can perform miracles and leads people to worship an image of the first beast. So those are the two beasts, the beast in the sea, the beast in the land. The beast from the sea is, as I said, like a counterfeit lamb. Then the next term, Antichrist. We hear the term Antichrist used so much in reference to the book of Revelation, but it's simply not there. Through the centuries, all sorts of people have been figured as the Antichrist. Popes have been called Antichrists. Several presidents have been referred to as Antichrist. Hitler and Stalin and Mussolini and on and on and on through the pages of history, people have seen Antichrist. But the term is not actually found in Revelation. This is where it's very important to actually read what is there and rather than reading what isn't there. The term Antichrist is only found in the Johannine letters, the letters of John. And in those letters, it refers first to one who does not believe that Jesus is from God, and also to one who denies that Jesus has come in the flesh. And that takes us in a slightly different direction. One of the most dangerous of the early heresies of the church, which flourished in the 2nd century, but apparently was around in a very early form in the 1st century, was Gnosticism. And one of the subsects of Gnosticism was the notion that anything that was physical was evil. This subsect was actually called Docetism. And anything that was physical was evil. And so Docetism held that Jesus really wasn't a human being. He only appeared to be human. So when you read the Gnostic Gospels, Jesus isn't so much a human being, he's more a spirit. The New Testament presents a very human Jesus, human and divine. So for the Gnostic Gospels, for Docetism, Jesus isn't really come in the flesh, he just appears to have a body. And so we read in John's prologue, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. The Word became flesh, tangible. Or this, for many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. Such a one is the deceiver and the Antichrist. That's 2 John 1:7. So who or what is Antichrist? An Antichrist is anyone who denies that Jesus is from God, or anyone who denies that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh. That is Antichrist. Now there have been any number of Antichrists in human history. And there will be, I'm certain, any number of other Antichrists who might arise between now and when Jesus returns. One more term, not in Revelation, that sometimes people get brought up in this overall discussion is the man of lawlessness. This is, as I mentioned, from 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. To emphasize this again, this is not the beast, it's not the Antichrist, but will get brought up sometimes in relation to the book of Revelation. In 2 Thessalonians, Paul is trying to sort of tamp down, if you will, apocalyptic fervor. People were quitting work because they were assuming that Jesus was going to be coming at any minute. And as part of this discussion, he tells him that Christ won't return until a man of lawlessness comes first. This man of lawlessness could be thought of as one of the Roman emperors. Nero the madman, or Vespasian, who fought the Jewish revolutionaries, or Titus, his son who finished the job of subjugating the Jews, or perhaps it was Domitian, the emperor at the time of Revelation. It could also refer to some sort of amoral, satanically inspired world leader who might arise yet in the future. We're not certain. Very important element in this book, as with any book of the Bible that we're reading, is to read what is there. Read what the text says rather than reading into it things that are not there. So with that in mind, I hope you enjoy your discussion of Revelation chapters 12 and 13.